Right, so the situation we're talking about today is by far the most frequent thing I'm seeing on my For You page, constantly just seeing people giving their opinions on this situation. And yes, it's something to do with weddings again. I promise you, I'm not doing this on purpose. It genuinely is the biggest topic at the minute, so we're talking about it. Now, the main person you need to be aware of in this situation is The Key Look. It's a TikTok account by a makeup artist that, specifically, looking at a page, does, like, wedding makeup. And recently, she uploaded quite a few videos talking about how she went to this wedding because she was working at it, doing the makeup for the bride, and I believe, like, the bridesmaids and whatnot. And by the end of it, she had a really bad experience because she ended up getting kicked out. But before we get any further with the video, a very quick shameless plug, because we have just uploaded a new video on our travel channel that we worked hard on, we're very proud of, and if you do want to go and check it out, it's linked in the description. I realise not everyone's cup of tea, that is completely fine, but if you do want to check it out, like I said, in the description, the pinned comment, and yeah, appreciate it. Now, the majority of these videos is just text on screen, so we'll have a read through, and the videos playing in the background is just clips that she's recorded on the day. So as we can see here, it says how it started. On the 9th of the 6th, 2020, the 6th of the 9th, Americans do the dates backwards. I still don't really understand that. Like, I'm not even saying this because I'm from the UK, but surely it should be day, month, year, you know, like, in order, and then you could say, like, the 6th of the 9th, 2024. Am I being stupid? Does that not make more sense? On the 6th of the 9th, 2024, I could barely keep myself together to work the wedding. I was trying to hold it together, but I ended up breaking and bust out crying in front of everyone. I stuck it out, even cried while doing one bride's makeup from start to finish. At the end of the day, the bridal party looked beautiful, everyone was happy, and the wedding was a success from the team. And then she went on to show this clip where she's clearly upset, and this is how it ended, apparently.
I've never been kicked out of anywhere, and I'm so hurt. Like, I feel like in this industry, there's no space for me. And I love this industry so much. And I love working with brides, and I love doing fun stuff. I love being able to bring out content.
And obviously when a clip like this is posted with not much context as to what actually happened, all she's saying is that she got kicked out of this wedding and she's really upset about it. People are obviously going to be wondering, like, what on earth happened? Like, what happened that was so bad at this wedding? Especially because before this video, she was posting like these videos kind of doing like the bride's makeup and like the bridesmaid's makeup, and everyone looks to be happy. So what on earth has happened? That's what people are wondering. Now, people who were actually at the wedding started commenting on these videos, giving their opinions. I know your comment section hates to see me coming, so again, I will say that this is me. Having content like this up and disrespecting my best friend and her husband and her wedding day is crazy. So Yaya, who left this comment, is actually commenting on this video where she's saying it's her and it's like this hair and makeup look. And as you can tell by this comment, Yaya is very confused why the Key Look is posting these videos when in actual reality she allegedly disrespected the wedding. And now this is where we got a 3-part series talking about what actually happened at this wedding. Now the first 2 videos, again, there's no talking, it's just kind of like text on screen and showing clips throughout the wedding. And one thing that becomes very clear is that the Key Look took a lot of videos at this wedding. Bear in mind, she's not the videographer, she's just taking videos on her phone, like kind of walking around, and she took a lot of videos. These first 2 videos showing all these clips, they're all like 9 minutes long. So she starts off the video by saying over a 2-day period, she's working on 3 different weddings as a makeup artist. And then she goes on to say that on this day specifically, she was very upset because she had a broken heart. I'm assuming she had like a breakup. That's what I'm taking from it anyways. But she understood that she had to carry on working. And then she goes on to show some videos of her doing like makeup to like the bridesmaids and other guests at the wedding. And she even says on screen that due to the agreement, she has the right to film content and use it for whatever she'd like.
You getting your hair done too?
Yeah.
All right, do me a favor. Yeah, you can take your hair down. That's fine. All right, look at me, smile, turn all the way around.
So a lot of it is just videos like this kind of showing the process, I guess. And just adding comments throughout. And on the first video, it's specifically saying like, everyone was so happy, everyone was so nice to me, everyone was so welcoming, like I wasn't doing anything wrong. Now we'll skim through the rest of this video so you can see kind of the stuff that she was filming, but it's kind of like this whole process. And just leaving a lot of comments throughout this, which is mainly just saying like she was getting along with everyone really liked her, and that she was definitely welcome to be there. And they were even saying like, oh, come along to the wedding, like you should stay a bit longer. That's what she's saying in these videos. And then in part 2, we actually see the wedding itself. So if I skim through again, you'll see that she's filming quite a bit, right? But this is still all kind of like the getting ready part, which kind of makes sense, right? She's doing the makeup, so she probably would record stuff like this. But then she also goes on to record like the majority of the wedding. Now this part of the video, she's saying that she's been really respectful about it. She's saying that she's filming content for the bride. She even goes on to say that she's asking the vendors like for permission to be like, can I film this bit? And so she doesn't get in their way, and she wants to act like professionally. She then says she's had a fair share of time being yelled at about wanting to get content when she first started in the industry, so she's trying trying to be as respectful as possible. And then says the purpose of her filming is to do this fiance anthem TikTok, which I guess is like a trend. And then if we skim through some more, you can see she's still filming, kind of talking about how great the day was, having a great time, like laughing with everybody. She even goes on to say that at this point she'd even forgot about like everything happening in her personal life and she was just really enjoying the day. And then we get to the part that says, I have never met Kiana's fiance until now, which is like a very like sudden like moment in the story, right? It really does make it seem as if like a supervillain just walked in, but this is what she carries on to say. I mean, from most of what she goes on to say about the groom, it's clear that she feels like the groom maybe had a bit of like an attitude. Like she says, got a quick video of the groom, still not much conversation. I asked him to use his lighter and he was kind enough to allow me to do that. That was about it. And then goes on further to say, he seemed nice. I mean, we barely spoke, so I don't know. Like, it's a bit of a strange thing to like post about a groom at like their wedding that you're working at, right? She then talks about this situation with like a lighter. She says it was about 6:15 p.m. and the bridal party had come back to do rehearsals before the ceremony. I ended up misplacing the groom's lighter, but he found it on the table I left it on in the same room we were in. He seemed like he had a little attitude about it, but it's a lighter. I would have ran to my car to get him another one if anything. He also found it, so I figured it was over. And I mean, as you can see by the video here, she's obviously like now at the ceremony, right? She goes through this gate and she's at the ceremony kind of filming everything. And now we get to part 3 where we actually get to hear the key look talking about her experience and what actually happened.
I hadn't realized that I've been ignoring my pain the entire day. So I really hadn't realized what I was going through. And I've been having such a good time with these people and I felt so much love that I couldn't even believe that this groom was talking to me that way, especially when I hadn't done anything to him. I hadn't done anything to anybody that day. The only thing I did was show up, do my best, and be my best. I just wanted to make sure that this bridal party really enjoyed. I just wanted to do everything that I could to make sure that the day was perfect for them. But obviously, I was doing something to get on somebody's nerves.
Yeah, so clearly she thinks that this groom had a very bad attitude and she's saying like she did nothing wrong. I think from the comment section, people are kind of like assuming that maybe the reason is that she was doing too much in terms of like filming anything and everything when she's not the videographer there and she's kind of just walking around with a phone and like filming like a bunch of content. But who knows, maybe she was actually asked to do all of that. We weren't there, so we don't know what the conversations were.
As I am bursting out in tears, the bride is consoling me and she's like, no, like I don't want you to leave, like I'm so sorry. I'm really in tears because I just can't believe that all this stuff is happening to me this weekend. Most of other personal problems that I got going on in my life. I'm in this crazy space. I was just so emotional. I couldn't do nothing but break down. I just felt so weak. I felt so made a fool out of. I felt so vulnerable, like I was being kicked while I was already down.
Yeah, so clearly she had a bit of a breakdown at the wedding. She was crying to the bride and the bride was consoling her. And look, it's obviously really shitty that she was feeling bad. Obviously you can imagine that a lot of people in the comments are saying like, a bride probably doesn't want to be consoling one of the people who's like being paid to be there at her own wedding, right? Like she's obviously got this big day that she's wanting to make the most out of.
Felt like I had given this bridal party everything that I had. I didn't have much to give, but I gave it all I got. I gave it all my energy. Y'all can see, I literally went above and beyond. I was on my feet for over 12 hours. I was giving it everything I had. I just want everything to be special for them. I knew I wasn't in the best space, but I'm like, these people are literally having one of the biggest days of their life. Like, I just want to make sure that this shit goes well, and I just want it to just be good vibes and good energy.
Yeah, I will say, from everything that we've heard up until now, it doesn't seem like she was going there with like bad intentions, right? Trying to ruin this wedding. It seems like she is going through a lot, and she maybe just wanted to spend time with people because she didn't want to kind of just be on her own, because obviously she's struggling. The obvious issue of that is that someone's wedding that you don't know personally, you're working for them currently, right? They're your client at this point. That's probably not the best place for this, realistically, right?
I decide I'm going to leave. I told the bride, I said, I'm just going to go ahead and leave. I don't want to be ruining anybody's day. My heart broke in that moment. I've never had that happen to me. You know, I thought about it and I was like, you know what, my bride, I went out to my car. I think I went to the store to just get something. And I was like, you know what, my bride doesn't want me to leave. I was like, I might as well just stay. So I went back and I drove into the botanical garden. I parked right back in the same spot that I was parked at. Before I walked in there, I was like, you know what, go back, get what you need. You are stronger than that. Don't let nobody break you down. So I went back in there and I went back in there with my head held. When I got back in there, I went straight into the cocktail hour. I had my head held high. I'm not gonna let nobody break me down. I'm good. Like, maybe he just had a moment. Maybe he just needed to cool off. I did nothing to him.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tricky one, right? Like, I get it. If you feel like someone's been like mean to you and you're now being like, I want to leave, it would be good to have that mindset of like, oh, I'm not letting this person ruin my day. The problem is, it's his wedding, right? And if the groom maybe doesn't want you to be at the wedding for whatever reason, it might be best to leave at that point. But yeah, it's a tricky one, because like I said, I don't feel like she went into it with bad intentions. It just probably wasn't the time or place.
See the bride and we're talking and she's like, you're good, like you're fine. Her mom telling me, you know, stay, like we really love you being here. We love your energy. The mommy and her, we still just vibing. They still just like a vibe. I mean, I dusted off. I was like, no, let me let that go.
I mean, clearly from her point of view, right, she is saying like the bride wanted me to be here. So even though the groom has like this attitude with me apparently, and he wants me to go, the bride is saying that she wants me to stay. So that's obviously part of her story.
Go back out of the cocktail hour and I go and sit down with a couple groomsmen. So I'm sitting with the groomsmen, I'm chilling. They like, yo, you look tired. I'm like, yo, I've been on my feet since like 7 o'clock this morning. I left out at like 6 o'clock in the morning to just get here. So I've been on my feet all day. Like I ain't really had no breaks. I had a bagel and then I just eat some food from this cocktail hour.
Yeah, this is a big part that people are pointing out, right? She was saying like the groomsmen like were going up to her and like a bunch of people throughout were going up to her being like, oh, you look really tired. And people are saying like the reason they're saying that is kind of just being like, oh, you look tired. You should probably go. Just trying to be like nice about it. I don't know if they said it like that because we weren't there. We didn't see the conversation, but that's what a lot of people are saying in the comments.
One of the assistant planners came up to me and she goes, can I talk to you to the side? And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't even feel like getting up here. I'm just ready to get the last couple shots of these videos and this content that I need for this wedding and I'm ready to go. So I told her, I was like, if you got something to say, you could just say it right here. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not even that deep at this point. So she goes, oh, like, the couple does not want you here anymore, so you're going to have to leave. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm trying to process what's happening. The couple wants me to leave. Like, what did I do? Like, I'm just so confused. On top of that, this is just, like, super embarrassing. But I would have went to the side with her or not. This is something that I know was being talked about. So it's already just embarrassing. It didn't matter.
Again, like, yeah, I get how it would be embarrassing, but, I mean, it's their wedding, so they can ask people to leave. That's just kind of how it works, right? Especially if you were there to work doing like the makeup. Makeup artists at weddings don't usually stay for the whole ceremony. That's not really how it works. I mean, maybe it does work like that at some weddings, right? Maybe some people pay their makeup artists to stay the whole day so they can do like touch-ups throughout the day. Maybe that does happen. It just does seem like that maybe wasn't the case in this situation specifically.
So I end up getting up and I'll start walking by and again, I'm about to burst out in tears because I'm just like, nah, like, there's no way that all of this stuff is happening. There's just no way. So I pulled the bride and I was like, oh, can you come here? And she was like, oh, you about to leave? I see you or whatever. So I was like, nah, like, come here. So I understand that you and your husband want me to leave. I was like, I didn't do anything to anybody. I don't even know what's happening. Like,
again, this doesn't need to be done at like a wedding, right? At someone's wedding, you don't need to be like having a bit of a confrontation with them. Even if you feel like you're not having a confrontation, it is a little bit, right? If you go up to someone and be like, all right, so I understand you want me to leave, but I haven't done anything wrong. It's just not the conversation to have at a wedding, especially to the bride.
So I was like, you know what? Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your wedding day or whatever the case may be. I'm going to go ahead and go. Mind you, I see security literally watching me. So y'all were about to get a security guy to remove me from out the wedding as if I need to be forced out, like as if I'm begging to be here, like for real. When I tell y'all, it was so embarrassing and so crazy because I literally did nothing to nobody at this wedding. I do appreciate to the bride for being apologetic about what happened. That was crazy and it was unacceptable. It was disrespectful. I maybe think I was the only black vendor. I don't know. I'm the only black vendor that I saw, and I was treated that way. That was fucked up. That was mad fucked up what y'all did to me.
Okay, so that is the Key Look's explanation of everything that happened. Now, the comments on this video from like a re-upload because the original video got deleted, but this is what people were saying in the comments. Never heard of a makeup artist staying for the wedding. Like, you were paid for makeup. Why would you think that's an automatic invite? Plot twist, she does this often and has a weird thing about wanting to be married herself. I don't know if that's true. I think, honestly, she was going through like a really tough time. She wasn't feeling great and she wanted to be around people to kind of take her mind off it. She just picked like the wrong place from what I can see. Also, there's comments like this, left and came back because obviously said she left, then came back because she didn't want like the groom to like get like a win over her or whatever, or she doesn't want to like let him affect her. I would sue. How are you posting someone's wedding content that they haven't seen or posted themselves? She pulled the bride aside to address her being kicked out. Like, yeah, I mean, clearly people's opinions on this are pretty one-sided. Oh, and here's the type of comments that I was talking about earlier, saying like, you look tired equals leave, which maybe it was. Now, one creator who's been covering this as it's been going on TikTok is actually Alexandra Bueno, who's made quite a few videos talking about this situation, and she's actually showed a bunch of the comments that were left in some of these videos, so all credit goes to her for these comments. Hi, so I was a bridesmaid in this wedding. We all loved our makeup and had so much fun getting ready. These TikToks are a huge violation of our privacy and the privacy of the bride. So this was like a comment on one of the Key Looks videos. So it seems like these videos might have been posted without permission. The Key Look says, like, due to the agreement, I can post whatever I want about the wedding. I don't know if that also includes like the full wedding itself, you know? You were not contracted as a content creator. The bride and groom are not social media people and had other vendors for photos and videos. My best friend, the bride, was gracious enough to allow you to stay well past your contracted time for cocktail hour, and the groom made it clear he didn't want to do any more videos that you disregard. These videos are a huge disappointment because we had a great day with you and you decided to do this. We were totally on board to do the videos at first. It became an issue when they were taking away from the photographer and the videographer's time who were contracted for this content. We also had no idea how the groom would react. Once he said no TikToks, that should have been it. Right, so this is obviously in response to the Key Look saying we were doing this TikTok that we all agreed on, and Rachel here, who was at the wedding, her best friend was the bride, is saying like, yeah, okay, we planned to do some TikToks, but the groom said he didn't want to do them, and at that point there shouldn't have been any more. There was also comments like this from Liz, who was a wedding content creator, and is saying, I was the content creator and coordinator at the wedding on the 6th or the 9th. I have never been so frustrated at a wedding vendor in my life. life. I believe this comment is in regards to the other wedding. She said she did a few weddings over a couple of days period. This was at a different wedding. We've then got this comment from T4S Productions saying the bride is aware, unfortunately, we're the wedding planners. Wish this wasn't real, but unfortunately it is. We have yet another comment from Yaya, who we spoke about earlier, saying, so again, this is insane. To have this content up, plus your disrespectful story about my best friend's wedding, and to be deleting our comments is wild. And continuing with the comments, we got this one saying, the bride is actually my sister. Shame on you for even posting this. If you need a cope, don't use someone else's wedding to do so. Happy you got the content you wanted. Another comment from Yaya saying, girl, as the other black girl at the bridal party, I had to create a TikTok to tell you that this is wrong and full of lies. Your work is great. Your lack of professionalism is not MUA, not mindful. I found the bride's Instagram prior to the wedding. She hadn't posted since 2018. The MUA overstepped. The groom also hasn't posted since 2018. They aren't big photo/video/content/socials people. Just two people happily in love trying to enjoy their moment. Yeah, so with information like this, you can see why people would find it weird that she's posted so much about the wedding when the people who actually got married don't post really at all. Yet again, we have more comments from Yaya saying, again, I will share that I opened up to you about how hard it is to find a black MUA in our area. I even considered hiring you for our own wedding, but your lack of professionalism turned me away. The series you created is untruthful, inaccurate, and only proves one thing. You lack professional boundaries on that day. Stop doing this. You and your team are talented. This is losing you clients. And again, we have more comments from people who said they're at the wedding. This is actually comments left on Alexandra Bueno's video, and they have said, when the groom was direct, she later called him aggressive and was offended. Otherwise, we enjoyed our experience with her, until she overstayed her welcome and invaded private moments. Alexandra actually commented saying, it's such a bummer she had to post this on top of everything else, and one of the guests replied saying, right, very disheartening. She did great work, but ultimately used their wedding to center herself and gain a following. Both the bride and groom haven't posted on socials since pre-COVID. Well, as someone mentions previously, we had no idea how this woman would react to us telling her to leave, and she wasn't getting the hint from the wedding planner, photographer, videographer. Obviously just clarifying that when people are saying stuff like, oh, you look tired, you know, and you should maybe go and like get some rest, people were trying to like hint that maybe it was time to leave. As for the key look saying that people at the wedding were telling her that she could stay longer, Rachel, who was at the weddings, replied saying, my friend told her if she wanted to watch the ceremony she could, but not stand in the aisle and take her content and ruin photographer/videographer's content. It got out of control very fast, and obviously we were being pulled in different directions to make sure the wedding happened on time. And then after all of this, the key look posted a new video which again has been deleted, where she apologized by everything.
I want to start off by apologizing to the bride that I worked with on September 7th, 2024, Kiana. I am so sorry for any distress that I have caused you behind the content that I posted. To all the bridesmaids and the bridal party, I am so sorry to any stress that I have caused you. I never meant for this to get out of hand the way that it did, and I hate that it happened.
Yeah, I mean, so far this apology is good, right? Like I said, I don't think she went into it with like bad intentions trying to ruin a wedding. I generally think, like I said multiple times now, she was just looking for something to take her mind off like a really tough time that she was going through, and she maybe just picked a wrong place for it. But on top of that, the stuff after the wedding, like posting about it so much and like doing this massive story time with these really long videos talking about the whole wedding and showing so many clips, I don't understand the thought process, right? Because you've already said you got kicked out of the wedding, they didn't want you there. I don't know why you would then think, oh, maybe I should still post content around the wedding and show the whole wedding, all the videos. It doesn't really make sense to me. But with that being said, it's obviously good that she's apologizing here, and I don't think she had bad intentions going into the wedding.
I apologize. I'm deeply sorry. I'm going to remove all of the videos because I don't want to cause you any more stress in your life. You just got married. You don't deserve a whole bunch of stress in your life. And again, I'm deeply sorry for what happened. My intention is never, ever to make any brides that I work with feel uncomfortable, feel stressed out, feel overwhelmed. That is never my intentions at any wedding that I'm ever working.
Yeah, I mean, I believe her saying that that's not intentions to do that, because why would it be if you wanted to make this your job? The one thing I'm confused about, I wonder why the video's deleted now. I guess she's deleted all the videos regarding the situation, but I don't know why the apology's deleted. I don't know if we have answers to that.
I was not asked to leave the wedding twice. I was asked to leave the wedding one time. The first time I did leave the wedding because the groom cursed at me. And which it was just really unexpected, and I thought it was really uncalled for.
Okay, right, so this is maybe why she's deleted the apology because she's now going into kind of like talking about the situation again and maybe combating some of like the points that people have made who are at the wedding. So maybe that's why this is deleted.
Anybody wanted me to leave in that moment, I thought it was a perfect time because it was only me, the groom, and the bride standing there. Thought it was a perfect time to be like, Keziah, like, you know, like, I think that's enough. Like, we're done with this. Like, you know, thank you so much for the day. And then I would have just, you know, went on out. And I think I took the bride telling me to come back way too lightly. I should have never came back. So I'll take full accountability for that. I do want to address the groom and the way that you talked to me. I just thought that it was really disrespectful. I thought it was hurtful. And I just really think that it was uncalled for. I didn't need to be cursed at in that moment, especially when I've only had maybe 2 to 3 interactions with you.
Okay, yeah, I mean, this is definitely why the video's deleted realistically, right? Because now the situation's carrying on after the apology. I mean, look, we didn't see the conversation. We don't know if this guy was actually really disrespectful. Maybe he was, and maybe the key look has every right to feel like she was disrespected there, but at this point, you probably just want the situation to be over, right? But yeah, like I said, we didn't hear the conversation, so we don't know how bad it was. Obviously, people at the wedding are just saying that he was just wanting her to leave and he was fed up with everything that was happening. And the key look is saying that the story is different. Again, we weren't there.
I want to continue to service brides because I'm passionate about weddings. I'm passionate about brides. I love what I do. And I just want to continue to do that. So I do want to move forward. And again, I apologize.
But yeah, that is the now deleted apology. Again, just want to give big credit to Alexandra Bueno because she has posted a lot of content about this, especially like the comments and like this apology and stuff. So full credit goes to her. She's done many videos talking about this. I would recommend going to check them out if you want to hear more. And yeah, that is pretty much the situation up until now. The most recent updates from this are literally less than a day ago. This video was posted 20 hours ago. So it's kind of all still unfolding, I guess. Maybe it's reached an end point. I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like on it, subscribe if you're new. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.